in my opinion, I don't want to use the word running because I'm not trying to disrespect LeBron, but I will say this. There have been many, many occasions where I would have liked to have seen him accepting the tougher defensive assignment, and that is not something that he has been prone to do. If anybody would know whether or not that statement is true, it would be you, GP. Your thoughts?
Well, it is true. I think it's a different little era with them too. Michael Jordan always took it to a point that he wanted to guard the best player. Even
Gary Payton just did something nobody saw coming on live television, and the NBA world is still reeling. The Hall of Famer, known for locking people down on defense and speaking his mind, didn't just question the LeBron James GOAT debate. He outright slammed it in front of millions of viewers. This wasn't some random hot take on a podcast or Twitter rant. This was primetime TV, and Gary came swinging like he'd been holding this in for years. One of the greatest defenders in NBA history finally said what many legends only whisper behind closed doors, and the fallout has been immediate. What should have been a standard sports segment exploded into chaos. No soft landings, no polite debates. Gary wasn't there to protect feelings or sugarcoat anything. And the response from LeBron's camp? Let's just say it added fuel to a fire that was already raging. So what exactly did Gary Payton say that sent shockwaves through the NBA? And why are legends now picking sides in what's quickly becoming the most heated basketball debate of 2025?
Me by extension, right? And it's just all so tiring right now.
I also think another part of it, and I'm curious what you think about this. I think the GOAT discussion and the favorite player discussion became intertwined in a way that was problematic, right?
Yeah.
And so what I mean by that is when somebody says that's my GOAT, it is not simply that you think that they are the greatest player, is that they are also your favorite.
It all started like any other quiet Tuesday morning sports segment in January 2025. Gary Payton was on to break down the league, share a few stories from his Hall of Fame days. Nothing controversial expected. But the moment the host brought up the GOAT debate and asked where Gary would rank LeBron James, the room changed instantly. You could see it on his face, that familiar scowl, that locked-in glove focus. Gary wasn't about to give a safe, scripted answer. That he leaned forward, stared straight into the camera, and said something that would set the internet ablaze within minutes. Look, I respect what LeBron's done. No doubt. But we've got to stop this constant push to put him over Mike. We really have got to stop. The studio froze. Co-hosts exchanged shocked looks, clearly hearing something they weren't supposed to hear live. And Gary wasn't done. Not even close. He doubled down, recalling his battles against Michael Jordan, insisting today's competition just doesn't compare. The physical edge is gone, and the endless comparisons exist only to fit a narrative. When the host tried to intervene, Gary shut it down with a shake of the head. He pressed on, saying, if people want to talk LeBron stats, fine. Let's talk them, but let's also talk officiating changes, load management, and super teams. Then he hit the line that truly rocked the room, pointing directly at the finals record. 6 losses. 6. Michael never let anyone celebrate on his home court, not once. Boom, Gary had dropped a grenade into the middle of the NBA media machine. But this wasn't a bitter rant or generational gripe. This was calculated, surgical, and ruthless. Gary wasn't speaking in generalities. He went straight for the foundations of the LeBron GOAT argument, piece by piece. First, he dismantled the stats narrative. Longevity, total points, all-around versatility. Sure, the numbers are impressive. But Gary made one thing crystal clear: context matters. LeBron's era inflates numbers with today's pace, three-point explosion, and offensive freedom. Come on, he said. Let's be honest. The game today is built for scoring, not survival. Back then, defenses could actually touch you. Hand checking was real. Bodies hit bodies. The paint wasn't protected by rules that scared defenders away. You had to earn every bucket. According to Gary, comparing raw numbers without understanding the context is nonsense. Jordan's era demanded toughness and grit that today's stats don't capture, and ignoring that difference misses the whole point.
Is LeBron James the greatest NBA player of all time? Y'all gotta sit back and relax for this one. Just to be clear, I think that's a feelings. I don't think it's a fact. This has been a topic of conversation that has dominated so many talking heads, TV segments, talk radio segments. It's dominated so much of the conversation around the NBA and specifically around LeBron and his career.
Then Gary went for the jugular. He brought up the finals record, 6-0 versus 4-6. And he didn't just mention it, he hammered it like it was the only stat that truly mattered. You don't get bonus points for showing up and losing on the biggest stage. That's not greatness. That's participation, he said. Michael went 6 times and finished the job every single time. Perfect. LeBron? More finals losses than wins. And somehow, people wanted to crown him simply for longevity. Gary made it crystal clear he wasn't buying that logic. The tension in the studio was palpable. You could feel it through the screen. Gary wasn't yelling, but every word carried weight, passion, and frustration. This wasn't just hoops talk, it was personal. Then came the line that sent social media into meltdown mode. Gary questioned LeBron's competition. Who exactly did he beat in his prime that we'll still talk about 20 years from now? Kevin Durant? They shared Team USA jerseys. Stephen Curry? LeBron had to switch teams and stack the deck to get past him. Kawhi Leonard? Please. Gary wasn't saying LeBron faced nobody, he was saying the grind wasn't the same. He compared that path to what Mike had to survive. The Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks, Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing, the Utah Jazz with Karl Malone and John Stockton. Legend after legend. Every round was a street fight. Gary leaned back, crossed his arms, and delivered the line that cut the deepest. LeBron is great, top 5 all-time, no debate, but he isn't Mike. And then he said what everyone was thinking but afraid to voice. Michael Jordan is the greatest to ever do it. Within minutes, the clip exploded. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, every sports page was blasting headlines like, Gary Payton destroys the GOAT narrative, and the glove finally says what everyone's thinking. The reaction split the internet in half. LeBron fans went nuclear. Comment sections turned into digital street fights. Gary was labeled bitter, washed, and clout-hungry. One viral post read, Gary Payton won 1 ring and has the nerve to talk, and it blew up with hundreds of thousands of likes. Meanwhile, old-school fans were celebrating. Finally, someone with real credibility had spoken for their era. Gary Payton started trending. Timelines flooded with Michael Jordan playoff clips captioned, "This is what a GOAT looks like." Other legends weighed in quietly. One former champion posted a photo with Jordan and trophies. Real ones know the truth. You can't rewrite history just because it's uncomfortable. Another Hall of Famer said, Gary said what many were afraid to say. The game was different. The mindset was different. Losing 6 times on the biggest stage would have been unacceptable back then. They played to win, not just compete. Then things got even more interesting. Reports surfaced that LeBron had seen the clip, and sources said he wasn't happy. He didn't understand why Gary went that hard on national television. To understand why, you have to understand Gary Payton. He spent his career being doubted. Not the tallest, not the flashiest, but one of the toughest, most relentless competitors ever. He built his legacy on defense, trash talk, and backing it up. He guarded the best guards on the planet night after night. He spoke straight to Jordan, Kobe, everybody, and never blinked. So when he sees today's GOAT debate driven by stats, popularity, and social media buzz instead of wins and dominance, it rubs him the wrong way. To Gary, the debate is simple. When everything's on the line, who dominates the best competition and finishes the job? There's a deeper layer too. Gary comes from an era where you wanted to beat your rival, not join him. Super teams weren't a flex. They were something you tried to destroy. LeBron became the face of that era, from Miami to Cleveland and beyond, and the way teams were built around him, the control, the roster changes, it clashed with Gary's philosophy. That's what fueled his comments. It wasn't hate. It was frustration. Frustration that the standard for greatness keeps shifting. To Gary Payton, that standard shouldn't move. Losing is now treated like it's fine as long as the box score looks good. Back in his day, loyalty, grinding it out with one core, taking your lumps and coming back stronger meant everything. In a follow-up interview later that week, Gary said it straight. We wanted to beat the champion, not join them. That's just how we thought. Maybe old school, maybe stubborn. But he refused to pretend that difference doesn't matter when talking about the greatest ever. LeBron didn't respond publicly. That's not his style, he's polished, calculated. But his social media in the days after spoke volumes. First, an Instagram post. Black screen, white text, short, loaded. They don't want to see you pass their heroes. Stay focused. No names, no explanation, but everyone knew what it meant. Then a tweet. Funny how people forget the journey when they critique the destination. But that's life. Subtle. Sure. No direct shots, but the message landed loud and clear. Started speaking up too. One well-known analyst, firmly in LeBron's corner, jumped on his podcast and fired back at Gary without hesitation. With all due respect to Gary Payton, this is what's wrong with basketball talk today. Everyone's so busy comparing eras that they refuse to appreciate what they're watching right now. Then he dropped the counterpunch. LeBron went to 10 finals. 10. Gary went to 1, and needed one of the most stacked teams ever to win it. The message was clear: maybe slow down on the criticism. The irony hit fast. Gary's ring came in 2006 on a loaded roster, and social media had a field day. Current players quietly lined up behind LeBron too. One all-star posted a photo of LeBron captioned, "The hate comes with greatness. Keep inspiring us, King." Another simply dropped a crown emoji, no words needed. The most revealing reactions came behind the scenes. Reports surfaced that LeBron's camp was disappointed by Gary's comments, feeling they crossed a line. LeBron has always respected Gary, sources said, and didn't understand why he went that hard on national TV. Advisors urged him to ignore it, not feed the fire, but by then the conversation had already exploded again. Here's the truth most people don't admit. The GOAT debate isn't just about basketball. It never really was. It's about identity, loyalty, protecting the era that made you fall in love with the game. For fans who watched Michael Jordan dominate the 90s, he isn't just a player, he is basketball. He's the standard, the blueprint, the measuring stick. Seeing LeBron placed next to him, or even above him, feels like an attack on their memories. For younger fans, LeBron is the greatest they've ever seen. His longevity, versatility, and ability to elevate everyone around him define greatness for their generation. When legends like Gary dismiss that, it feels disrespectful to everything they've watched for 20 years. And here's the uncomfortable truth: both perspectives can be true. Michael Jordan can be the most ruthless, unstoppable winner the game has ever seen. LeBron James can be the most complete, durable, and intelligent force the league has ever produced. Different eras, different rules, different paths. But nuance doesn't survive online. Social media doesn't want balance. It wants one king, one answer, one GOAT. Gary Payton's comments forced everyone to pick a side, and reminded the world of one unavoidable reality. No matter how many records LeBron breaks, no matter how long he plays, there will always be people who believe Michael Jordan is untouchable. Will Gary Payton and LeBron James ever settle this face-to-face? Probably not. LeBron is too calculated, too media-aware for a public back-and-forth with a legend. Gary already said what he needed to say. He wasn't looking for validation, applause, or a response. He spoke his truth, dropped the mic, and walked away. But here's the question everyone keeps dodging. Can we appreciate greatness without tearing someone else down? Can LeBron be incredible without shrinking Michael Jordan? Can Jordan remain the GOAT without disrespecting what LeBron has built over 2 decades? Gary didn't think so. He drew a hard line, and once he did, the basketball world split right down the middle. No gray area, no middle ground. Just sides. And now the divide feels deeper than ever. So where do you stand? Is Gary Payton right? Has the GOAT debate been hijacked by media narratives, stats chasing, and non-stop comparisons instead of pure on-court dominance? Or is this just older legends refusing to accept that the game has evolved and greatness doesn't always look the same as it did 30 years ago? Both sides feel attacked. Old-school fans feel like their era is being erased. Younger fans feel like their hero is constantly discredited. And social media keeps pouring fuel on the argument every single day. This debate isn't just about rings. It's not just about stats. It's about pride, memory, and the version of basketball that shaped you. Gary Payton didn't invent the argument, but he said out loud what millions were thinking and too afraid to say. Whether you agree or not, you can't deny he cracked the door open and forced the conversation back into the spotlight. That's why this became the biggest basketball debate of 2025. Legends are choosing sides. Fans are digging in. Comment sections are turning into battlegrounds. And somewhere, Michael Jordan is probably smiling, knowing that decades later, his name still sets the standard for those who actually had to face him on the court. Now it's on you. Who's your GOAT and why? Not just highlights, not just vibes, but real reasons. Drop it in the comments and let the debate rage. And if you want more deep dives into the biggest basketball controversies, drama, and legacy battles, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We break down the stories everyone's talking about, but nobody's fully explaining.